Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about this matchup. You know, from what I read so far, I don't know that there's a date, but it's been already confirmed that it's going to happen next for these two fighters as the next fight. So you're going to have El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez, taking on former IBF middleweight champion now at 168, you know, the veteran David Lemieux, and it's gonna be an interesting occasion, you know, interesting fight. I'll be honest, personally, I think it's not a fight that I really clamored for, but you know, it could be interesting because we know, if not for nothing, we know David Lemieux can't box for nothing. We know, but David Lemieux don't know what a jab is. I'm not even sure he knows how to say the word jab, you know. But one thing we know that is if David Lemieux gets into an exchange, he's got the power, he's got the strength to knock you the hell out. And we've seen that on many occasions. You know, we've seen it with, you know, Gary Spike O'Sullivan a couple years ago, knocked him out in the first round. And then most notably when he fought Curtis Stevens and put Curtis Stevens on a stretcher. You know, so we know Lemieux's power is nothing to play with, but we know that he's always lacked those boxing skills to get him to the next level of the sport. And I'm looking at this as a fight for Lemieux that if you really are what they say you are, if you're for this great big bad fighter, and I'll be honest with you, I like Benavidez. I think he's very good. I think he's definitely someone that's in the upper echelon of the top 10. He's been a world champion before, but I don't think he's anywhere as good as people think he is. I have my questions about him, you know, and I think a lot of the hype that's around him is not just based upon, you know, these world titles he's won, and he gets credit for doing that, but I think a lot of it is based upon this fear factor, that the way he's carrying himself, you know. And I've kind of like grown a bit cold towards Benavidez because of the fact that he goes and he lies to the media and he lies to the boxing fans, saying that Caleb Plant is scared of him. When if anybody's done the research and really follows the boxing, they know that his manager, Samson Lukowitz, came out and said in the early 2020 that they weren't going to fight Caleb Plant in a unification fight because he needed more time. So he's been granted time. In that time, he's fought, you know, Romero Angulo and Ronald Ellis and Kyron Davis and guys like that. You know, some solid guys, but you know, nobody, you know, to brag home about. I mean, maybe Angulo's the best one out of all those three guys because he had that big win against Anthony Simmons. But other than that, you know, nothing to really jump for joy about. But as it pertains to Lemieux, you know, Benavidez is fighting a guy on Lemieux who, let's be honest, let's just keep it real with Lemieux. And I like Lemieux, but let's be real. The guy is 33 years old. This is a guy, Lemieux, that, you know, even when he was young, you know, you go back and you look at when he fought Marco Antonio Rubio at 160, he got knocked out by him. Then after that fight, got outboxed by Joaquim Alcine. Then after that fight, you know, his next loss was against Gennady Golovkin when he became IBF champion. Okay, and he's lost some fights. He's lost fights all kinds of ways. He's been knocked out. He's been outboxed. He's been outclassed. He's lost fights on every level of boxing in many different types of ways. Not to down him, but like the last loss he had was that schooling against Billy Joe Saunders. And since that Billy Joe Saunders fight, he's moved up to 168. And the two most notable names on his resume that he's fought since then were, as I mentioned earlier, he fought Gary Spike O'Sullivan, knocked him out and iced him in one round, which I think is a good win for him. But O'Sullivan's more of a 60-pounder that he moved up to 68, but still good win. And then after that, he fought former WBO super middleweight title challenger and former European super middleweight champion Max Bursak. And Max Bursak, you know, I remember him vaguely because he fought Gilberto Ramirez when Ramirez had the belt, and he went life and death and got a split decision with Max Bursak. So he's already shown his level in boxing. And if I'll tell you this, Benavidez struggles at all in this fight, I'm talking about like if he gets dropped or goes life and death or it's a majority or split decision, I'm gonna have a whole lot to say, because this is a guy that he should be stopping with relative ease. You know, Lemieux is a good fighter, you know, but Lemieux, I mean, Benavidez, right? I gotta give Benavidez some credit. Like I don't like him, but you know, his last couple of fights, like with Ronald Ellis and Angulo and Kyron Davis and these guys, you know, his last like 3 or 4 opponents, going into the fight, they'd never been stopped, and he was the first guy to stop him. stop them. You know, so that shows that Benavidez has been showing that extra bit of class in his fights, even though I don't think his opposition has been the greatest. The guys that he's fighting are solid guys, durable guys that have been in the ring with other top name fighters, and he's going in there and he's doing things to them that haven't been done to him. So that he is making some good statements in the ring. But I'm looking for this fight. He needs to make a big statement, because Lemieux just put Lemieux out of his misery, because Lemieux hasn't really been close to an elite level fighter in a long time. Even when he had a world title, people questioned if he was even at that level to begin with, because when he won the title, he won it vacantly against Hassan Mandam. So you know, if Benavidez is a guy that you're looking at as a type of fighter to beat a Canelo or an Andrade or any of the top guys, 68, a Plant, this is Lemieux is the kind of guy he needs to be getting out of there in devastating fashion. So yeah, man.
I want to say,
go ahead, Pops. I'm sorry.
To me, Benavidez, leave the outside issues that he had to hold against him while he lost his belt, whatever the case. But Benavidez gets in there in the ring. To me, he's still a champion for the simple fact that he was champion, and he's in there. He's a brawler. He's a fighter, and he comes to fight. He's a pressure fighter, Mexican fighter. So I think Benavidez, to me, I think he's gonna make some noise. I would like to see him fight Charlo or somebody else and step up his competition.
Absolutely.
But I also say that him fighting Canelo will be great for not just for the Mexican fans, but for boxing itself. And I think he's just a hungry, brash, confident fighter that wants to prove himself inside that ring. What he did outside the ring doesn't matter what he does inside that ring. So for Lemieux, I think the last time I watched, because I have all-timers, is with GG. I don't think Lemieux is that same old guy that he fought GG.
We watched the Spike O'Sullivan fight.
In the Spike Sullivan fight. So I'm going to say that Benavidez is going to come in there, like BT said, and actually make a big statement. If he's crying for a big fight also, he's got to come out there and you're as good as your last dance. So hopefully you have a big dance against Lemieux.
There you have it. So David Lemieux, David Benavidez, is not an official date yet, but they both are coming out and saying that it's going to be the next fight for the WBC interim title. So yeah, leave your comments down below. What kind of chance do you guys give Lemieux? I personally think that Lemieux is going to get folded up pretty bad, because you know, I just don't think he has the kind of quality to beat a guy like Benavidez and whatnot. But listen, if they exchange Lemieux, anything is possible. So that's probably the only intrigue of the fight. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.